Welcome back. We want to classify the following figures with as much detail as possible. So let's take a look at the first one. This first one is indeed a polygon because it's a closed figure and it's made entirely up of line segments that intersect at their endpoints. So this is a polygon and we want to show what kind it is. So let's go ahead and count the sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-sided polygon is called a pentagon. You might recall this from the Pentagon in Washington because it has 5 sides. But this is a pentagon, and we want to classify it with as much information as possible. This is actually a concave pentagon. It's concave because it has one side that is goes in kind of like a cave. It goes inward into the polygon. So this is a concave polygon, or excuse me, a concave pentagon. Let's take a look at this one. This one is not a polygon. While it's comprised of endpoints, or excuse me, line segments that connect at the endpoints, it's not a closed figure. It has an open end right here. So this is actually not a polygon. Not a polygon. All right, let's take a look at this one. This one is classified as a polygon because it has line segments that are closed and they connect at the endpoints. So this is a polygon, and we want to show what kind it is. So let's go ahead and count the sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. This is an octagon. One of the most famous octagons that we know is the stop sign. A stop sign has 8 sides, sort of like this figure. Any octagon has 8 sides, and this is actually going to be a convex octagon. It's convex instead of concave because it has sides that poke out. Concave has at least one side that goes in. This is a concave side. This is the example of a convex side. It goes away from the polygon, if you will. All right, so this is called a convex octagon. Octagon. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. This one is actually going to be a polygon as well. It's a closed figure made up of line segments that connect at the endpoints. So we can go ahead and count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. A 4-sided polygon is called a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral. And this one, is this going to be a convex or a concave polygon? This is actually a concave polygon because it has one side that goes inward into the polygon. It's actually looks sort of like a cave. So this is a concave quadrilateral. All right, it's pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at the next one. This one is not going to be a polygon. While it's a closed figure that's made up of line segments, they don't connect at all the endpoints. Here it has it has 2 endpoints that don't have any connection to them. So this is not a polygon. Not a polygon. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one's actually going to be a polygon. This one has, it's a closed planar figure that connected the endpoints, and it's made up of line segments. So we can go ahead and count the sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6-sided figure, a 6-sided polygon called a hexagon. A hexagon. And we can also call it a convex hexagon, and that's because we don't have anything poking in like a cave. It's actually extending out away from the polygon. So this is a convex hexagon. And let's take a look at the last one. This one we need to be careful because it's a closed figure. It's a closed planar figure that the line segments in the figure connect at the endpoints, but this end is it's not made up of a line segment. It's sort of curved. So this violates the rules for a polygon. It needs to be comprised completely of line segments. So this is not a polygon. All right, so we're using what we know, and we're classifying polygons with as much information as possible. First, we need to find out if it is a polygon. A polygon is any closed planar figure that is made up entirely of line segments that intersect at the endpoints. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is count the sides, and the number of sides will tell us what the name of the polygon is. And we have several different names. Usually the prefix of the name of the polygon gives away how many sides it has. If it's a three-sided figure, we've already saw that as a triangle. A four-sided figure is a quadrilateral. A five-sided figure is a pentagon, and so on and so forth. And the next thing we need to do is figure out if it's a convex or a concave polygon. Concave polygons are very simple to identify. They actually look sort of like a cave. They go into the polygon, such as this one and this one. Convex polygons are the ones that actually kind of poke out. They go away from the polygon. All right, so not a whole lot to it. Just go over this a few times, and we'll be using this in the next few sections. So I'll see you in the next video.